What up, peeps? It's your friendly neighborhood Sl1pg8r here, and this may be the last video you see from me for a while. It's Saturday today, and I'm about to tear down my computer and store it in our first story of our house because the Hurricane Irma is coming, and it's going to be an intense storm. So over the last few days, we've been seeing the track change. It seems very uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty as to what's going to happen. But the one thing that I am certain about is that the community that I'm in right here where I live, and the people that I'm surrounded by are awesome. We've come together it's been kind of amazing. We've come together. Everybody's been helping everybody out to get prepared for the storm. And we're ready. We're ready for it. We still have some things to do. I still have to go to break down my computer. I'm going to move it down into a little safer spot. We're going to move some of our valuable stuff into safer spots. But we're confident and we're trying to stay as calm as we can, and just work on being prepared, and ready for the storm. So, I think, you know, there's so much uncertainty that's going on. We don't really know what's going on. Every day we've been watching and, you know, 2 days ago, it looked like the storm was going to track up the center of Florida. And by the time it came to our area, it'd probably be a Cat 2, a Category 2 storm. But now it seems like the track has shifted westward, and it's going to make landfall south of us and will probably be a Category 4 to 3 by the time it's here. So from what I understand, all the homes in our area are rated for Cat 4 storms. So it isn't something where we're really super concerned about. Well, it's concerning. It's absolutely concerning. I can't really tell you what I think is going to happen. I just know that we're going to be okay. We're going to be ready. And we're doing our best to stay calm. I think that's like one of the most important things that's going to go on. So even though you're going to see this video, I think after the hurricane hits, I don't know if I'll be able to communicate with you guys. I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you. I don't know. I don't believe we'll have power for days. We won't have the ability to communicate with cell phones for days. A lot of people are talking about different apps you can download for your phones. Zello, I think, is one that needs a cell tower, or it needs Wi-Fi data or some sort of data in order to work, from what I understand. So those sorts of communication ways of communicating just aren't available to us. So we won't be able to do that for you. I do want you guys to, like I said, to know that we're prepared for this. Our houses are rated for these sorts of storms. It doesn't mean it isn't dangerous, but it does mean that we are doing our very best to be safe. So yeah, the last couple of days have been very, very tiring. I'm an out of shape YouTuber, and I'm not used to climbing on ladders and being on roofs. And we've been doing all those things to get ready for stuff and things. So the wife, the dog, and the neighborhood is prepared. We are going to weather the storm, and I am signing off. I will be back as soon as I can be. I'm going to put some links in the down there, I think. I'm going to try to find some for places where, if you're interested in helping to donate for the relief, that you can do that there. For either Harvey or Irma relief, I'll leave links in the down there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for everybody that followed me on Twitter and are following me on Twitter and are following me on Instagram and kind of keeping up with what's going on. I'm going to be posting some more pictures today, probably, of our storm preparedness. And if you want to be the first, if you're trying to keep track of what's going on and you want to know what's going on, with me, with Sl1pg8r, then follow on Twitter at Sl1pg8r or Instagram at Sl1pg8r. I'll be posting stuff there as soon as we have the ability to do that. So I'm out of here, guys. I've got to go. I've got to pack the PC up. I got to move some stuff and things. I got to do a bunch of stuff. I got to kind of unplug from my YouTube life and plug into my real life, because right now it's time to focus on our community, my family, the families that live here, and do our best to weather the storm. So thank you guys all very much for all your well wishes, for all the places that you follow. And I'll keep you posted as much as I can, and I'll see you soon. Peace. And that was the video I was going to post today, but I'm here to tell you, miraculously, everything is absolutely fine. In the days leading up to Hurricane Irma, it was a whirlwind here. Unbelievable amount of activity going on in my community. And just give you a rundown of some of the stuff and things that we did. So all of the homes in this area are provided storm shutters that you have to attach onto all the windows. You kind of can't see them now. They are still on, and we actually don't plan to take them off the second story of the house probably until the end of hurricane season. But We started to do that about 5 days ago, maybe a little bit more, and it was a colossal task to do it for the entire neighborhood. We all kind of banded together and everybody started helping everybody out. The community actually rented a cherry picker, which is like a basket, you know, that can raise and lower, so that we could do the second stories a little bit easier. And we had that for 24 hours. One of my neighbors basically worked, I think, 20 hours straight with the cherry picker to get all everybody's windows done. And we all kind of battened down the hatches. I was in a mad scramble to try to get some videos done and at the same time make sure that everything was good with our house and the family. And when I recorded that video, I do believe at that point they had released the hurricane track as showing that it was going to come west into the Gulf of Mexico and bullseye Tampa at a Category 4. And there was a lot of speculation as well that when that happened, it would be a Category 5, which is an unbelievably powerful storm. There would be massive devastation in our area if that is what would have occurred. So the National Hurricane Service, I started watching that online about a week ago, and the track kept changing. You know, at first it was supposed to come up the middle of Florida. When a hurricane hits land, it really loses a huge amount of power. So even if a Cat 5 or 4 were to hit southern Florida, obviously the devastation there would be unbelievable. And further up the state, as it traveled up, it would lose a lot of power. So by the time it got to Tampa, maybe a Category 2 or 1. The track kept moving west. And then once they said it was going to go out into the Gulf, it was a Cat 4 at that time. And moving through that warm water would have strengthened the storm. So at that point, I was very worried, guys. Like, it was really a scary time. And I didn't know what was going to happen. So thankfully, a lot of our neighbors have been through a lot of storms here. And, you know, the general rule is that you hide from wind and run from water. So we're not really near the coast. We are in the Tampa area, but we're far enough inland that storm surge wasn't really a concern. But a Cat 5 storm could easily, you know, depending on kind of situationally what goes on, rip the roof off your home. Now our houses are built very strong. The whole first story and all the walls in our house are all cinder block. And a lot of other precautions are taken to strengthen the houses. So we did a huge amount of prep. We wrapped the house with all of those storm shutters. We moved a huge amount of valuables downstairs from our second story of our house to the first story. I took the whole Reborn Dimensions PC setup that I have and tore it all down into pieces, bagged it all in trash bags, and like put it all in a closet down there. We got Casey ready. We got all of Casey's stuff ready to go. And then we just decided to wait out the storm. So when that started to occur, it was kind of a real whirlwind of emotions at the time. The storm started to track more easterly again, and it made landfall on Marco Island and Naples near Fort Myers, which is on the west-south side of Florida. And it hit as a Category 4. Along with the hurricane winds and all the things that normally go along with that, hurricanes, I didn't really know this, I believe have a tendency, well, they have a tendency to form tornadoes, and I do believe that it's on the east side of the storm. And you can see, I think if you've watched the news, which a lot of you probably have, they have a couple shots they show of Naples, of some mobile home parks that have a lot of devastation. And they don't really know exactly what that comes from, but they think it's probably from some of these tornadoes that hit. The hurricane itself obviously does a lot of damage, but the tornadoes are very, very damaging. And so we sat in the house, we watched the news, we had water, we had filled up our bathtubs, we had food, we had a small generator. Our Jeep has an outlet in it, so we had a little bit of power there. We were as prepared as we could be with the time that we had. And we waited out the storm to come. As it came up the middle of the state, it lost power. And by the time it got to Tampa area, it was a Category 2 hurricane. The categories, I don't want to get too much into exactly what the definitions of the categories are. Obviously, the stronger ones are more dangerous. It's higher wind speeds. So even at the kind of the 0 hour, the storm really tracked almost straight north and a little bit to the east. And it ended up hitting an area in Polk County in Lakeland, about 25 miles, 30 miles to the east of us. Unbelievably, we never lost power. We didn't really have amazingly strong winds here, probably 40s, 50s, 60s with gusts of 80s, 90s, maybe a couple of 100-mile-an-hour gusts. I don't really think it got that strong here. The exterior of our house is fine. We have some fencing in our neighborhood, and part of our fence was blown down, which is, you know, a minor repair. It's not something that we're really super concerned about, but at the end of the day, we're safe and we're sound and we have power, we have internet. We are very, very lucky. And from what I understand, this isn't the first time something like this has happened in Tampa. Tampa just seems to be very lucky with hurricanes. It's very hard for hurricanes to hit here. Just the way that the wind and the Gulf and the land and the way that it all is. I guess I shouldn't say it's hard for them to hit here, but when it does, they normally are of a lower intensity. So we're good, and I'm amazed. We're very, very lucky. And I just want to take a second. I don't know if any of my neighborhood people will be watching this, but I want to say thank you so much to the people in our neighborhood. I mean, truth be told, I am an overweight office working kind of YouTuber guy. And it was really hard work to get everything prepared on the outside of everybody's properties, and the neighborhood really came together, and we have some guys that are in this neighborhood that really, really gave their time and helped the entire community, and it was really amazing. So I want to say thank you to anybody who, I know I had said in a few videos that if you wanted to find out what's going on, to follow on social media, on Twitter or on Instagram. And I didn't really want to do like I thought about doing a video about the hurricane and kind of like really documenting it, but I don't know. I feel like I just wanted to tell you guys what went on here and not really sensationalize it too much. And say thank you to everybody that followed on social media and kind of was there with us, because my wife and I were on Twitter. We were just kind of like doing stuff on Instagram. I did some updates on Instagram, kind of showing the wind speeds that we were experiencing. And it was really nice to see people just giving stay safe messages, and other people who were in Florida talking about what they were going through. And then, you know, we had some people who were saying like, well, we're here and we're hunkered down. And then this was nice to be able to tell them to stay safe. Like, it just made a little bit of a connection that made you feel a little bit better. And so, yeah, and we weathered the storm, and it was really much, much more minor than I thought it was going to be. And the roller coaster really is that, you know, initially it was supposed to be kind of more minor in our area. And then as things progressed, it was going to be a major issue. And then suddenly it wasn't. And it was just this, you know, I don't know, like I said, this whirlwind of emotion is what it was. But I was really concerned. It was the first time that I've been in a big hurricane down here. I have been through some hurricanes up north in Maine, which was a long, long time ago, and they were a lot less powerful. So I think it was just the uncertainty of it all that really, really kind of freaked me out. Besides some minor bumps and bruises, I'm pretty good to go. Although I did have to wear sneakers for like 5 days, and I think, I don't know, something's going on with my feet. So I think that's from not wearing sneakers for a year. My toenails hurt. I don't know, man. So thank you guys also very much for all your, you know, just being there. I don't say all your support, but for just being there. I really appreciate it. And I'm just really lucky. We're just feeling really, really lucky right now. So there are some other people that aren't as lucky, and there has been a lot of devastation from the storm. And so I'm going to put some links in the down there that you guys can follow. If any of you guys want to help by donating to the relief, there will be some links down there. I think I'm going to put UNICEF stuff down there for Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Harvey. So if you do want to support in that way, you have a place that you can do that. And yeah, so I am going to try to get things to be back to normal. We have a lot of unpacking to do, so to speak, and a lot of things to do. So videos and streams and stuff should start up as normal here pretty quick. And yeah, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.